And that whilst your purpose
that you've signed up to,
your
and we share together, is to be your best in all you do.
And greatness can only be measured by the difference between before you showed up and after you showed up. If I look at the number of people whose lives have been transformed by your voice, that's how we measure your greatness. Who are you sent to? There is a people, your people, they are waiting for you. And those people are called your tribe. I want to tell you a little bit about tribe building, and then we'll take a break around 8:30 or so, and then we'll come back, wrap it up. There are a people that you are sent to. They are carrying your wealth. They have been blessed with the resources that are for you, but you are carrying a solution to their problem. Your job is to identify who they are so that you can solve their problem, and they will bless you with the resources. Everything that is missing in your home is in the hand of your tribe. Write it down. Everything that is missing in your life, material thing especially, every material thing that is missing in your life is in your tribe. Guys, I need you to do something for me. You guys know everybody that knows me knows I'm not materialistic. That's not the issue. I just want you to write down something in your life. This is, Simi told you, this is a we. This is our we. Nobody's taking anything, showing anything. And no, during the replays, you can't see the comment section, the comments, okay? I want you to write down something that you know that you should have now that you don't yet have. And then I want you to write is in my tribe. So whether it's your car, write the thing that you want that says, my car is in my tribe. Say there, my house, my 6-bedroom house is in my tribe. Say, well, I can see there, my financial freedom. Author, my $10 million is in my tribe. I want you to be real. My children's school fees is in my tribe. I want you to be real. I want you to be real. I want you to be real, right? My vacation is in my tribe, right? Do you understand? Come on, write it down. Let's be real. Listen to me. God designed it so that you will never lack school fees. Let me be clear, just so that some of you are saying, this guy, are you sure that this guy is still being spiritual? 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 3. 2 Peter chapter 1 and verse 2. 2 Peter, somebody put it out there, please. You my people that help me put out. According as his divine power, is anybody putting it out there? According as his divine power, is it will give? Anybody? Can you help me put it out there? I know people are still saying what is in their tribe. Yeah, my influence is in my tribe. My impact is in my tribe. My income is in my tribe. You see? Do you understand? My boys' university fees are in my tribe. As his divine power has given to us all things that pertain to life and godliness. He didn't say all things that pertain to godliness and life. He said all things that pertain to life and godliness. Why? Because without life, you can't really exercise godliness anyway. That's why Jesus fed them. That's why Jesus healed them. That's why Jesus opened the eyes of the blind. He did things, physical things that enable. That's why he did those things. Then he was preaching the kingdom. The kingdom of heaven is first about heaven on earth, ruling and reigning over the earth. In the book of Genesis, man lost the authority to have dominion. In Genesis chapter 4, I think, or 3, okay? Or 2. But in Revelation chapter 5 and 10, it says now that he's, by his stripes, we have now been made kings and priests unto our God, and we shall reign on the earth. Revelation chapter 5, 9 to 10. Revelation chapter 5, 9 to 10. So let me help you understand. At the end of the book, we are restored to what we lost at the beginning. It was always about dominion. Always. Genesis to Revelation was about one thing. The dominion that man was designed to have and started off with, the loss of that dominion and the restoration of that dominion. End of story. And has made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. We are not supposed to be waiting till we get to heaven. That song, when we get to heaven at the marriage supper, all the saints shall gather at the last assembly. No more sad parting, no more heartbreaking. Farewell to sorrow, victory at last. That song was written by the devil. Victory at last. How? You are supposed to have victory now. This is the victory, our victory, even our faith. Your life of faith is supposed to be a life of victory. Why? You are now wise enough by understanding the substance of what God was hoping for, which was a world without the problem that you were designed to solve. God's heart, his hope, was for a world without the problem that you are designed to solve. You are the hope of God's calling to the earth to solve the problem, so that now that you have shown up, that problem disappears. That is victory, guys. That is, you are the substance of what God was hoping for. Your tribe is the destination of your impact. These are the custodians of the problem that you are designed to solve, but they are also the custodian of the resources that are supposed to give you the quality of life that God intended, so that you can also give the kingdom of God the tithe plus others. And there are about 6 others. There is, apart from tithe, there's love offering, there's prophet's offering, there's kingdom offering, which is just your gift to the advancement of the kingdom. There's evangelical offering, which is to give to evangelical mission so that the message can spread. There is there's alms and benevolence. And then there is vows. It's a completely different ballgame. I can't teach you on those 6 things right now. If you want to know about those things, come for 7-Star Leader. I will teach you about kingdom wealth in 7-Star Leader, because I'm teaching about all that pertains to the mastery of life. I didn't relate. You now want me to say it again. I say come for 7-Star Leader. Okay, I'll give it to you again. I said apart from tithe, there are 6 other spark plugs for your financial engine to be revving. That is, I'm talking about the spiritual one. Number 1, love offering. Number 2, kingdom offering, or sometimes called kingdom investment, which is where you notice something that can be done in the house, in something to advance the the work of God within, there's a need for a microphone, there's a need for lighting, there's a need for painting, there's a need for chairs, there's a need, all of those things that you can, opportunities to sow. Love offering is what you give out of love, just it's your gift. And then of course your third one is your prophet's offering. Your prophet's offering is anyone whose word you don't want to fall in your life, somebody who you receive from, the virtue and the word and as a voice of God over you. And as the Bible says, honor the Lord thy God and you shall be established, but honor the prophet, or, regard the prophet and you shall prosper. And so when you sow into the prophet, a prophet's offering, you will receive of the reward of the prophet, not the labor of the prophet. Okay? Then there is what you call evangelical missions. These are essentially missions that you sow into so that they take the word of God and they spread it out. Many times those guys don't have churches or buildings. They just take it and they go. So you have to support them. And then from there, you also have alms and benevolence, which is what you give either through a system, benevolence in church, or you give it at alms. When you give prophet's offering, you're sowing up. When you give benevolence, you're sowing down. And then, lastly, you have vows. Let me quickly tell you something. Vows are the handcuff that you can use to tie God's hand. I'm telling you, I'm just giving you crongel. I'm giving you crongel. That's like the biggest crongel I've given you today. Vows are the handcuff you can tie God's hand. Do you know the problem with vows sometimes? Do you know that God can give you something because of the vows that you've made? Even if that was not what he really, as in you can speed up time. You can activate things that will happen because you made a vow. You say, God, give me this thing and I'll give you this thing. Hey! God say, hey. The people who understand the power of vow, people like Hannah, who have been waiting, and they say, Lord, if you give me a child, I will give him to you. God says, child. You can't hold back. You want to accelerate some things, make a vow. But let me help you. God help you if you break your vow. That's how God doesn't play with vows, guys. Anyway, I have to move on. This is not 7-star leader. This is Speak for Gold. I hope that I'm still giving you, I hope I'm giving you something. I hope I'm giving you value here. All right? Your tribe carry everything you require. So now I want to teach you how to build your tribe. I want to teach you how to build your tribe. Please understand that your tribe are your people. And if you don't know who your people are, you will not be able to take the message to them, neither will you be able to attract them. And you can easily pursue people that are not your people. So let me start by telling you that your tribe, and this is the dictionary meaning of tribe, is a social division of traditional society consisting of families and communities linked by social, economic, religious, and blood ties with a common culture and dialect, typically having a recognized leader. I mean, you guys have heard, that's the dictionary definition of a tribe. This is a group of people who are linked by social ties or economic ties or religious ties or blood ties. They typically have a common culture and they speak the same kind of language, which means that it is important that you must know the language of your tribe and speak that language if your tribe are going to recognize you as a leader. You must know the language of your tribe. Let me be clear. My tribe is a spiritually aware group of people who are believers in the Creator, and more importantly, who are believers in the assignment that God has given to them, so that they become leaders who influence and change the world. That is my tribe. My tribe are not, I am not there to convince people. I am there to help people who want to make a difference. My tribe are leaders, but my tribe are not just any ordinary leader. My tribe are spiritual. They are very spiritually aware. Because I speak a spiritual language that my tribe understands. They love it, they're attracted to it. Anybody who feels overwhelmed by the depth that I share of the spirit is not my tribe. That's why I asked that, please, if you want me to refund your money, you made mistake. You misroad. You can't follow me and not follow my God. It's impossible. You are not my tribe. So I know my tribe. So some people say, oh, FD, how are you able to so boldly? You're so bold. And now understand, listen to me. There are people who follow my tribe that are Muslims. But listen to them. When they get the revelation, they still go and do great things with it because they understand that this is about kingdom. They find no offense with it. They said the truth this guy is speaking is resonating with my soul. Some of my best friends are Muslims, and they love my message. But do you understand that my message, that is a resting stone for some, or foundation, is also a stone of offense to others? So let me help you understand it so you get it. Your tribe, when they hear your language, they are attracted to you. But you must also know how to speak their language. You must be able to speak their language. So I want to tell you 5 things that bind a tribe together. And I'll teach you about each one of these 5 things. I may not finish today because it's quite a bit. I want to teach you about 5 things that bind a tribe together. The first thing that you'll find out is that your tribe is attracted to the value that you create. Write it down. Your tribe is attracted to the value that you create. We will talk about value shortly. So please permit me, and you know I've been talking value. If you've heard, see, Fela wants to kill us with this value. You have to create value, you have to create value, you have to create value. But secondly, your tribe is attracted to the values that you hold dear to you. In a sense, your tribe recognizes their values in your values. Your belief system is in alignment with their belief system. What is important is not that they are taking your values per se, it's that their values resonate with yours. Now, because you share your values, they say, hey, yes. Now, remember, your values are shared in many things, not only through the words of your mouth, but through your actions. So when we say value time and make the best use of it, that's words. But then when we show up at 6 p.m. to start a class that is supposed to start at 6, that is action. So people know that that's true, man. These guys never late. They are never late. So your values are not just words, they're actions. Third, your tribe has and shares a common interest with you. In other words, there is something that interests you, that interests them. They are interested in what interests you, the core of your value proposition. But this is the fourth thing that is very interesting. Tribes also have a sense of shared identity. They are proud to call themselves by the name of the tribe. This is by far one of the most important things about tribal building, guys, is that there must be an identity to a tribe. And when each one of them sees that they actually call themselves and says, oh, I am a Speak for Gold alumni. I'm like, and I'm already tripping for you because we both. So in a way, whenever you have a true tribe, they can wear the t-shirt of it. They can carry the identity of it. They are proud to be identified with the tribe, but they are also very proud to draw their identity from the tribe. Does anybody understand where I'm coming from? And the last thing that you'll find out about a tribe is that they usually recognize the leader, someone as a leader in their tribe, somebody who is the hub. So these are five things that are very important to a tribe. And the leader is at the core of what builds a tribe. There's literally no tribe without a leader. Now, let me help you understand it. And I hope you're ready for these basketballs, right? Are you ready? So remember that until you lead, you can't really have a tribe. Remember what I said from the beginning. That leadership is the ability to identify the value that you have the capacity to create and then to deliver it to those people. So without you leading, nobody can follow. Nobody. You can't build the tribe. Meanwhile, they are the ones that have the blessing. They are the ones that have been blessed with everything you need. There are people from Speak for Gold that contributed to the manifestation of the word of God over the Range Rover. God wanted to bless me with it. But guess what? Until I blessed the people, my tribe, they couldn't come together and bless me back. You understand it now? Tell somebody, I must lead, I must lead, I must lead. To lead is not to run in front of people. To lead is to solve problems for people. It's to help people be better. It's to help places become better. To lead is to make people better, to bring the best out of people. That is what it means to lead. You rule things and lead people. You are not meant to rule people. You are meant to rule things and lead people. I'm going to say it in another way. You use things to care for people. You are not supposed to use people to care for things. And that doesn't mean that, oh yes, you shouldn't have a laundryman to take care of your clothes, or you shouldn't have, that's not, but you listen to this. You are never supposed to use people. You are supposed to build people as you lead them, and they will deliver whatever it is that is the outcome that you want for them. All right, so we're good. So now let's touch on value. I want you to remember that You will use some manual input into your value creation, but you must also look for mechanical input. What tools can I use to add value in my, in my value creation? And then lastly, I want you to understand the thinking, the ideas that will come from you are the things that's where your next income is. It's in the ideas, the thinking, the quality of the ideas. So you're going to have to find a way, and I love the way BB Tech says it. The least value of what you can sell is your time online. Your time is what has the least value online. You've got to find a way to convert that time so that you are not physically having to do it. Does that mean you shouldn't do that? Do it. But there is still more value to earn when you are not just using your time. Whatever you can record once, use machine to record it. And then that thing now begins to earn for you as say, for instance, an online program, right? An online training course. You are no longer the one that is earning, you are not struggling. Your time, your energy is not there anymore. And then when it comes to coaching and all of that, the things that, you're helping people to decode things, that one you can charge even a premium for. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about premium pricing also between today and tomorrow. So just take that. What I'm just saying is make sure that you're not sweating all through. How do you begin to package things to earn for you without committing your time and your energy to it? Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited. Let's talk about value. We said there are 4 things. Can everybody see my slide? Everybody see the slide? Okay, good. So let's talk about value for a moment. Yeah. What is value? Value is the benefit that people get from receiving your impact. Value is the benefit that people get from consuming your product. Value is what happens to the people who encounter you. Value is benefit. Value is benefit. Value is benefit. So I'm happy that you're doing an Instagram live, but what is the benefits that the people who listened to your Instagram live, what is the benefits that they got from listening? That is the value that you have created. So put it this way, impact is the encounter, value is what remains. So value is what resides, is the residual benefit of the impact that your encounter creates. Somebody hears your words, impact. What is the value that is left in that person after you have gone? Every day that you wake up, what is the benefit that other people, including your own family, have gotten from you just being alive today? I mean, I can tell you something, that if there were ever a couple who are value sensitive, and I'm even going to talk about values later, but value sensitive, they will build such a beautiful home. If every time I speak, I want the hearer, my wife, to have a benefit of the words that I spoke. If every time I spoke, I want my children to have a benefit, to draw something from what I speak. I will never complain again, because complaint doesn't add value. Complaint doesn't solve the problem. I will contribute, not complain. Many of us complain, and it turns the people that are closest to us off, because there is no value in complaint. Oh, who left this plate here? Oh, who did it? Take it, you can use everything in life as an opportunity to learn. Everything. Intend from this day henceforth that you will always make a positive impact on everyone that you meet. Everyone. Starting with you. Your thoughts, your actions should create value to you every day. You should be a better version of yourself every day. You should do something that gives benefit to you for what you did every day. The food you eat should create the body you desire. I'm going to say that again. The food you eat should create the body you desire, because the food has derived, your body derives benefit, not burden from the food. So your tribe is connected by the value that they get from you. Which means that at the core of your tribe is, what is the benefit? Now, let me be clear. You were actually created to create value. God equipped you with everything you will need to be beneficial to the earth, especially to your tribe. Please write that down. That is such an important thing I want you to. God created you with everything you will need to be beneficial to the earth and especially to your tribe. Now you are to use the things you have to get the things you need to be able to deliver the value that you have to deliver. So you use your brain to learn. You use your eyes to read. You use your eyes to observe, to see, to this. Everything God gave you is enough for you to use to acquire what you will use to deliver benefit. You were created to deliver value. God never sent you as a burden to the earth. God sent you as a blessing to the earth. Write it down. You are a blessing to the earth, not a burden. So your value you create is in the problems that you solve. And so every time you're thinking about how am I going to create value, I'm just asking yourself, which problem am I solving today? Whose problem am I solving today? When you solve problems for your tribe will stay connected to you. Did anybody just see what happened to Ibilola today? Anybody? It's Ibilola, yes, I believe, yes. Yeah? Was it? Just please forgive me if I missed her name. She has a dream. And her dream has been lingering in her heart. it has become a burden to her soul. And all of a sudden, she's found people who have catalyzed and encouraged and inspired and did. Ibitola, sorry, thank you. How will Ibitola not remain in the tribe? We're not trying to, how do you explain it? The goal is not to keep her in the tribe. The goal is to solve the problems of as many people as possible. And in doing that, they will stay. So my question, as I ask you once again, is what is the problem that you're solving for your people? Let's move faster. So I want to show you this thing that I call the value creation. This is truly what they call the value chain, in my own understanding. I need you to please get this right. The moment you get this thing, I think that is one of the greatest gifts that God ever gave me. This particular chain I want to draw for you. I want you to understand it this way. Every time a solution is found, value is created. Every time value is created, wealth will be given as a reward. Now, I must be very careful here to say sometimes the truth is that you can create value somewhere and reap wealth somewhere else. In other words, let me put it this way. It is impossible for you to create value and not create wealth. But it is possible that where you receive wealth may be different from where you create value. Because the scriptures never said, wheresoever a man soweth, that's what he shall reap. The scripture said, whatsoever a man sows. Monica, thank you very much. Whatsoever a man sows is what he'll reap, not wheresoever. So it is possible for you to create value within an organization, and it is another organization that will reward you with a promotion. It's possible. It's possible for you to create value, but let me also be clear. It is even possible that somebody can create value in one generation and another generation will go and reap it. So there is seed value, time, and harvest wealth. Remember I said wealth is the reward is the harvest, value is the seed. So remember that, everybody remember that? I'm sure you did, yeah? So seed value, time, and harvest. So sometimes there's a lag. What you want to do is to create a value cycle, what value wealth cycle, that whilst you are creating the value today, the wealth is designed to flow into your, it's like this. It's a constant cycle. It must never cease. It must never cease. Seed, time, harvest must never cease. Now let's quickly understand this. If you maintain, manage, and multiply the wealth into the hands of as many more people, you will create prosperity. So prosperity is wealth multiplied, not just in one person's life, but in the lives of many. And the greatest tribe is the tribe that the collective wealth of the people is multiplied because they are in the tribe. I'm going to say that again. The greatest tribes are the ones that the tribe's prosperity is important to the leader, not that the leader is using the tribe to prosper. Is that the leader's intention is the prosperity of the tribe. The collective well-being of the tribe is the leader's vision. Yeah? Somebody got that? Okay. So let me quickly say that. However, the value that is attached to the solution is dependent on the problem that is solved. So BB Tech said it in a very beautiful way day before yesterday. You solve a small problem, you get a small reward. Bigger problem, you get a bigger reward. Why? Because the value that is attached to the solution is dependent on the problem that you solve. And so you've got to ask yourself, what of all the problems that the tribes have? Now, let me be clear. There are multiple dimensions of problems that the members of your tribe can have. And if you are able to identify as many of them as possible and you are solving them, then the tribe itself will get more value. Remember, they will get more derived benefit from being a member of your tribe. That means they are more committed to your tribe. That means they will call more people to come to your tribe. Listen, we don't even advertise Speak for Gold anymore. Really. We don't. Speak for Gold is growing. The tribe is growing by the benefit of the people who have been in it. And they are saying, man, you have to come. Sometimes it's you have to come again. Did you hear some? Oh, Dr. Chi said to me, I must be there. They listen. I must be there. So I'm asking, your tribe, what are the multiple areas of challenges that they face that you can have a leading problem that you're solving, then you have ancillary problems that you will solve also. Let me move on. So I want to show you something that's very interesting, because I know that a lot of times you hear people say, oh, poverty alleviation. It's one of the greatest challenges of Africa, of Nigeria, of poor countries, poor nations, poor societies. Let me be clear. The way the earth is designed is that it multiplies the center of the essence of your conversation. Let me put it this way. I'm going to say that again, just so that you capture it. The earth does not understand the word not. It only links on to whatever is the essence of your conversation, and it releases energy to it. So let me ask you a very simple question. Since all the years of poverty alleviation, has there been more poverty or less poverty? More poverty. Since they started war on corruption, has there been more corruption or less corruption? More corruption. Since if you do war against indiscipline, do you have more indiscipline or less indiscipline? Listen, the way the world operates is that the core of the essence of what you are thinking is what energy is attracted to. It doesn't know that you are trying to fight it, it just multiplies the thing. So let me put it, instead of a war against corruption, you have a war for integrity. And you do integrity. Before you know it, all of a sudden, integrity becomes what receives energy. And once you have a war for integrity, corruption will die. You cannot fight darkness. You ignite light. Leave darkness. Don't talk about darkness. Talk about light. Once you bring light, darkness flees. Let me help you understand it. So poverty alleviation has only created more poverty. If you want to break poverty, I will show you what has to be done. Because think about it, sir. Every time there is a problem, but there is no solution, what happens? I'm waiting. What happens, guys? Once there is a break, there is a problem, but no solution. What happens? No, think about it. What happens to value? No value. Thank you very much. Therefore, what happens? What happens next? No wealth. Thank you very much. Therefore, what happens? To prosperity turns into poverty. That is why there are usually many problems in poor countries. Every time you see a pothole on a road, that is somebody who should have had a job and earned a salary and income that did not earn it because the pothole was a problem. There was no one to solve it. So you go and look at it, it's very interesting. In every poor, whether it's a city, poor state, or poor nation, there is high level of unemployment because there are problems that people are not solving. And with that high level of unemployment, you will have high crime, you will have, go and look at it, education will be poor, healthcare will be poor. It is always the same. Every time you have problems without solutions, there's always poverty. To break the back of poverty is not wealth creation you need, it's value creation. And to create value, you solve the problems. Once you solve the problem, bam, value is created. Once value is created, wealth is created. Once wealth is multiplied, bam, prosperity is restored. So what you need to solve Nigeria's problems is just to say, guys, every problem we are running away from now is an opportunity. So now let's solve these problems. In the United States, after 9/11, security became the fourth biggest industry in the US because people felt more insecure after the 9/11 attacks, and then companies started coming up with different ideas. From, ring doorbells that you can see who's outside to different kinds of solutions. Every time they created a solution. Why? We have an insecurity problem. We have been attacked. There's terrorists. So bang, we solve the problem. As we solve the problem, the industry begins to come up with ideas, innovation, products, innovative products, different kinds of things. How you can, incredible. Problems are blessings in disguise to solution providers. Please write that down. Problems are blessings in disguise to solution providers. They are opportunities. You don't run away from problems. You are designed for problems. You were created to solve problems. So how can you be running away from it? So I need you to understand this, that if you want to build the tribe, you've got to be able to be interested in the challenges that the members of your tribe are facing. And then you find creative ways to solve those problems. And as you find those ways, the tribe will consider you valuable enough for you to pay a subscription. And that is where the wealth flows. People will buy products from the tribe. That is where wealth flows. But it is not the wealth that is your goal. It is the solution for the people. But remember, your two hands. You must create value, but you must also receive value. Did you get it, everybody? I just need to be sure that you got this before I move on. Tell me how you feel right now. You got it, Tosin? Yes? Okay. Anybody else? You got it? Fantastic. Yeah, I'm glad. Okay. Modupe on point. Fantastic. Okay. So let me give you another word, a synonym for value. It's called help. So if you ever want to ask yourself, am I creating value? Asking who I help. Or if I can ask you, who you help. Who you help. What is the help that people are getting from you? I love the way Jim Rohn used to say it. He said, if you help as many people get what they want, you will get what you want. The world is designed. Now, let me help you understand what I'm saying, guys. Listen to this. You are the help from God. So when the scriptures say, I will lift up my eyes to the hills, those are the challenges that I am facing. And I wonder, from whence cometh my help? My help will come from the Lord. So let me help you understand it. You are the answer to the prayers of the people. When people cry out to God, Lord, help me, from whence cometh that help will come to you as an idea. That idea will come to them as a solution. Then they will praise God for the good works that you have done. That's why it says, let your light so shine that men will see your good works and praise your Father in heaven. So when they cry out to God, God tells you the solution. You give the people the product, and as you solve it, bam. You are the help that comes from God. And in reward, they honor you and you go. That's how it works. So ask yourself, what is the help that I give to my tribal members? In a sense, I help A do B so that C. Write that down, please. I help A do B so that C. A is the tribe members, the members of your tribe. B is the value you create. No. B is what you do for them. C is the value they get from it. So listen to this. I help A, that's the kind of people, do B, what I do for them, so that C, the result and the outcome and the benefit. So C is the promise that you make to A that will get them to pay for B. Can you just write that down? I know it sounds like a mouthful. C is the promise you make to A that gets them to pay for B. A is the tribe, B is what I do for the tribe or the people. C is the benefit they get, is the value proposition. So C is what you promise to A that gets them to pay for B. I help A do B so that C. Now, I want to just have you guys just put it out there. Simi, if you don't mind, if you are anywhere here, I want you to please put it out there. What do you think is your A, your B, and your C? Your A are the kind of people who have a particular problem. B is what you do for them. And C is the outcome of that. Okay, somebody ready? I want somebody to give me an example with what you do. I help this kind of people do this so that this can happen. Come on, guys, let's go. Okay, Mojoyinola says, I help teenagers. What do you help them with? What do you do for them as you help them? And what kind of teenagers? I want you to begin to find a way to identify the problem that those teenagers have, the challenges that they have, because that's how you now know who are the members of your tribe.
Caroline says, I help businesses scale up their business to increase profits.
Bam. That's it. I help businesses scale up to increase profit. Okay? So scaling is what I do for them. Now, there are different ways that you can scale, but the profit is what, to increase profit is what she promises to business owners. What she does to increase profit is to scale. So now they're willing to pay her to help them scale because of the profit that they have been promised. So let's look at a couple more.
So I help singles and not that one. I help teenagers discover themselves to be a better version of themselves.
Okay.
I help content creators by providing a platform to showcase their content and drive traffic so they can monetize their content.
So the shorter the statement, the easier it is to say it in an elevator. So I want you to try and see whether you can cut that statement to nothing more than 14 words. The shorter the statement, the better for you. Okay, let's go.
Okay. I help teenagers and young moms build confidence so they are fearless to be visible wherever they find themselves. Sorry, now you guys are running. I help developed women rediscover their light so they can dream again. I help people empower them to enable them get their life back. Oluwakemi says, I help worship leaders to be rightly positioned as true worshipers so as to lead effectively and God is glorified. Author says, I help organizations and governments unite young people for nation building. Oh, sorry, I missed that. I help young people discover creative businesses so they can be limitless. B says, I help young people identify and develop their strengths and talents and raise resilient and success-driven adults. I help women to transform their mindset so they can fulfill their purpose.
Fantastic. So now I saw something that was very interesting. I saw some, I can't remember who it was, said, I help Africa solve climate change problems or something like that so that they can meet the Paris Agreement. My challenge with that is, who is Africa? Because remember that your tribe must be able to receive your benefit and reward you. So who is Africa? Is it ministers of environment? Who are the people who have an interest in the thing that you are interested in? Clearly, you are interested in the environment. Who are the people who have an interest and also, remember, value, problem? Who are the people who have the problem and are interested in solving it? Who are the people who have a problem and are interested in solving it? If you say Africa, who do you go to? Who are you talking to in Africa? And that the people who are hearing you, do they have an interest in that thing? Secondly, do they see the problem and are looking for the solution? Because the moment you can find those two things, then you have found the right people. So I'm not sure who it is that said, I help Africa. I want you to help me recalibrate it. Because remember, your A is your tribe. And your tribe must see value because they have a problem they want to solve. Two, they must have a value. In other words, the problem is important to them. That's values. Number three, they are interested in solving it. Okay, so I don't know whether, but I hope you guys understand. I help nations. Who are nations, Anthony? Who are nations? You see, when we say nations, I like it. I love it. It sounds great. The problem is, who is going to pay you? Who is nations? Who pays you? Because your tribe is the people who pay you. Do nations pay? Is it governments that are the paying people of nations? You have to remember, I help young adults, okay, and moms build confidence so they can visibly fulfill purpose. Fantastic. Now, we're just going to get to that point where we understand the value that you create in seed, the more specific it is, the more measurable it is, the more attributable it is to what you do, the greater the conviction that the people have that it is what you did that helped them accomplish it. So let me give you an example. If you say, I help businesses make money or increase their turnover, it's okay. But if you say, I help businesses double their sales, now we're talking. So we can measure it. And once you help one, if they go and meet somebody and they tell you, man, have you joined Caroline's tribe? See, in that place, now double. If whatever you are doing this year, by the time we are done in that tribe, next year is double. Because it is measurable, all of a sudden that tribe becomes more attractive or more attractive. Did somebody understand what I'm saying? The more specific your C can be to your A, the easier it is for them to pay for your B. I'm going to say that again. Please help me put it out. Somebody, I need you to remember what I said. The more specific your C is to your A, the easier it is for them to pay for your B. Because I say, I want to help you fulfill purpose. How do we know when I have fulfilled purpose? So it sounds nice. It sounds grand. It's easy. If you say, I want you to be happy and financially free, I love it. But what does it mean? How do I know when I'm financially free? You've got to be able to help to articulate the value so clearly that your tribe is able to say, because of this B that you did for me is why I got to see. And the clearer C is to your tribe, which is your A, the more they're able to easily pay for your B. The more specific your C is, which is the value is to your tribe, the easier it is for your tribe to pay for what you do, your solution. So we're going to do it again. I want you to write it this time, Tony. The more specific your value is to your tribe, the easier it is for your tribe to pay for your solution. Do you understand? Tony, would you help me put that out there? The more specific your value proposition is to your tribe, the easier it is for them to pay for the solution. Solution is what you do for them. That's your product. That's what you deliver to them. The C is the solution, is the value that they get, the derived benefits they get from the solution. All right. So remember, the more, the clearer your C is. Okay. So let's look at a few questions that I want you to be able to answer. Are you ready? I want you to be able to answer the following questions. If success was guaranteed, what would you attempt? What is the value that you would attempt to create? What is the problem you would attempt to solve? If you knew Who has that problem? Guys, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Sorry, can you hear me? Am I still connected? Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. Who has the problem? The people who have the problem that you would attempt to solve are your tribe. And solving it must be as important to you as it is to them. In a sense, you are not solving it because of money. You're solving it because that's where your passion is. That's where but don't forget, you must make money from it. Otherwise, the tribe will break down. Why? Because as long as you keep giving out and there's nothing coming back in, the tribe is not sustainable. There will be a cost to maintaining your tribe, especially as it grows. And if your tribe gives nothing in return, they themselves will begin to feel, they will feel somehow, and they will find a way to leave the tribe. Let me tell you the truth. Awoof, they run belle, and it still does. Honestly, Awoof is if it doesn't run, if it doesn't create running stomach, it will create constipation. Awoof always causes problem. When you do things for people and they get it for free, they will devalue it. Don't turn your tribe into swine. Yay, Jesus help me. Did you hear what I just said? Don't turn your tribe into swine. Swine are the people who do not value the benefits that they get from you. When people do things for free, after some time, they will not be able to get. Don't turn your people into swine. And don't be scared of receiving from them. If you are led by value, you don't have to be scared of receiving value. People, how many people value the air that they breathe? But I think that if anybody didn't value air, when COVID happens and people started hearing about how much you pay for a tank of oxygen, I think now we know how to say thank you, Lord, for air. Because people don't value what is free. How many people value salvation? If it doesn't cost them anything, it's the greatest gift of all, but a lot of people don't value it. Don't turn your people into swine. Build them to be able to reward you. Build them to be able to reward you. I hate the word free. I hate it. I hate it because it is an illusion. There is nothing that is free. Somebody is paying the cost for it. And if you are bearing the cost for it, where's the value? If you are carrying the cost and creating value, it's not sustainable. But when you create value at a cost and you receive a reward at a profit, then it is sustainable. Then you can improve on it. Then you can develop new products. Then you can get better people. Then you can, that's how the world operates. Let's move on faster. What benefit will these things cost? Let's move. So look at the different areas of which generally people can have challenges: feeding, shelter, clothing, relationship, health, transportation, communication, education, finance, leisure, and entertainment. Listen, these are just examples of areas. You've got to be able to ask yourself, which one, what do I do? Which is the problem area? Where is my problem area? Who has that problem? Am I solving a feeding problem? For who? With what? Am I solving a transportation problem? Every day you wake up, which problem are you solving? And I'm asking you to quickly tell me. Toluwa Lokwe, thank you. Tell me, relationship, health, Tonya says, I help singles, okay? Thriving relationships, communication, education. Listen, when you saw this thing, one of them jumped out at you. Mental health, finance, relationships, productivity, self-esteem, travels, okay, that's great. Unemployability, which is some form of productivity, right? Okay, good. My point is this: you must know the problem that you solve. Why? Because you have to become the master of that problem. You must understand the problem, not just know it. You must be able to explain the problem. You must understand cause and effect. What is causing the problem? Because it is from the causes of the problem that you can attack. You can attack with your solution so that you can change those cause and effects. You must become the master of that area. You must be able to read deep and wide, gather knowledge. You must be able to know who are the other people that are solving that problem. You must be passionate about the problem. You must be frustrated by the problem. At least the continued existence of that problem. What do I mean by frustrated? It means that, listen, if you are okay with the existence of that problem, you're not the one that is meant to solve it. There is something about the problem you are created to solve that is designed to naturally frustrate you. Let me give you a few words that will help you quickly. Understand this. Before you solve the problem, you will be blessed with frustration. Once you identify the solution to the problem, your frustration turns into excitement. Once you start solving the problem, your excitement turns into fulfillment. I'm going to say that again. Every time you see a problem you are created to solve that you are not currently solving, you will be blessed with the divine gift of frustration. That frustration is meant to take you to the place of abiding so that you can find what you need to do with it. You receive inspiration, and once you now get the solution to the problem, now you will become excited even before you solve the problem. It is the excitement that will provide the ginger, the energy, the passion that will get you through the process of solving the problem. So once you solve the problem, now you get fulfillment. You can never be fulfilled by a problem that you are not solving. Did somebody get that? Frustration is a blessing, but it's also a calling. And what frustration should drive you to is the place of abiding, where you go and say, Lord, what am I supposed to do about this? This thing can't continue like this. We cannot continue to see able-bodied men on the road running after cars. These guys, their standard of living is their cost of living is going to go higher. If they can't do this thing for long, they will soon have to take on other tools apart from the tray on their head. What can we do to solve this problem? When God sees that passion in you, then he will give you a revelation. That revelation will come to you as inspiration. Then you will go and get information. When inspiration and information come together, understanding will come out of it. It is understanding that produces instruction, that produces action. I'm going to say that again for somebody who's trying to catch this. When you go with passion to God, I'm not playing with words, guys. I'm not playing with words. When you go with passion to God concerning a problem that you are so truly passionate about solving, that passion will activate the revelation. And God will send you revelation, but it will arrive to you as inspired ideas. That's why I called it inspiration. That inspiration will get you to go and look for information. And that information, when you add it to the inspiration, the ideas from God and the things that are already being done, you will get understanding. It is from understanding that you will give yourself an instruction. You will say, this is what we're doing. You call your team together. This is what we're doing. That instruction is what will lead to action. The action is what will lead to results. So revelation ultimately should always end in results, always. God does not just give you revelation for revelation's sake. He gives you revelation so that you can get inspiration, so that you can add information and get understanding. Understanding will produce instruction. Instruction will produce outcome. Outcome will produce, or action. Action will produce results. I'm going to say that again because somebody gets it. Whenever you see the problem and the problem gives you frustration, you go to God and you go and get revelation. You stay with him until he so speaks to you. And then he gives you revelation, which comes to you as inspiration. And then you now go and look for information. And that information will get you to have the place of understanding. Now you know the cause and effect, what to do to solve this problem. Now you give yourself an instruction and your team, that instruction will lead to action. The action will change the results. And therefore, you realize that revelation has now found itself. Right. So the challenge that most people have is that they don't realize that most things that you are passionate about, you are also gifted to with the ability to solve. So every time you go and do something you are not passionate about, the chances are you are also not gifted to solve that thing. I promise you, most times, if you don't have a passion for something, you are not equipped to solve that thing. God usually equips you with what it takes to solve the problem that you are passionate about. So if you follow the passion in your heart, you are more likely to end up with your tribe. Your tribe are attracted to your passion. If your tribe cannot tell what you are passionate about, there is nothing to glue them. There's nothing to stick them. So now let's quickly just have a conversation around what is the definition of success? Because I want to know what does success look like. Now, some of the conversations I'm going to be having with you, you may not have the answers right away. So don't worry. If you don't have the answers right away, don't worry. These are things that you have. This is your sleepless night for tonight. And I'm not even sad for you that you are not sleeping for the next 2 days. Don't worry, you'll soon sleep on Saturday or Sunday. It's okay. Sleep has been caused. Do you people know that? Do you know that every time Jesus spoke about sleep, it was death? Do you know that when Jesus speaks about death, it is the lack of eternal life, it is lack of salvation, it is, so whenever what we call death, Jesus calls sleep. What he calls death, we call hell. Did you know that? Okay, let me not go into that place. Let's go. What does success look like? When you have done a great job this year, what will your tribe look like? So we are currently building a tribe of 1 million leaders who are thought leaders, business leaders, career professionals and career leaders, student leaders. Simi, which one is the last one? we have decided that, listen, this is our goal. Our goal is not the money. Our goal is the number of people that we are helping to live a life of a life of excellence, so that they can achieve and attain success in their own professional and personal lives. Our job is to create a platform that is a learning and sharing platform that gives them opportunities to connect, to share opportunities for advancements, to get discounts. We are listen to this, guys, we are developing and empowering these leaders to have success in their own personal and professional lives, but creating an opportunity for them to add value to their nation so that it is sustainable. Because if you are successful but your nation is a failure, then in the end, it's not sustainable anyway. You know, today I was thinking about all the people that have stolen money. I'm not saying everybody that has built house in their village stole money. Oh, please don't get me wrong. That's no. I'm just talking about the people who stole money to go and build big houses in the village. And today they cannot live in those places because those places are insecure and they can be kidnapped and they can be, So now the point is, why bother? Why bother to steal the money? Because now you have used the money to acquire an asset, but that asset you cannot use it. What about if we are just all, oh my God. Can anybody imagine what will happen if everybody in Nigeria was trying to help everybody else to solve problems and we all together have collective success? Can you imagine what's going to happen to the most blessed country on earth? But when me becomes greater than we, all of a sudden, we forget that in the design of man, it was not one that God blessed, it was God blessed them. God said, let them have dominion, not let him have dominion. Did you hear what I just said? God did not give dominion to one, he gave dominion to them. Every time you see a nation that is them motivated, they will do great things. Every time you see a nation that is me motivated, my motivated, they will crumble. God blessed them. God said, let them have dominion. Not let him or let her have dominion. So every time you are coming, true success is never about me. It's about us. It's about us. What will success look like? You must measure your success first and foremost in impact. How do you measure success? And how will success make you feel? What is that feeling worth to you? What would you give or give up for that sense of true success? Too many people are using their lifetime to pursue other things rather than solving the problem that they were created to solve and building the tribe that they were created to build. What you're doing, I'm saying if what you're doing on a daily basis is not solving the problem of your tribe, you need to start a transition. And that transition usually starts with what I call your night time. And your night time is usually every time that your current employer is not paying for. which could include your weekends, depending on what kind of employment contract you have. And one of the ways to make sure that you start building your tribe is get home, rest early, wake up in the middle of the night, work on your tribe. Then go back to sleep and go back to your daily job. And keep building your tribe. Attract volunteers in your tribe, people who are willing to give, until you can get your tribe engine working to not only create value, but to create wealth that equals what you are currently getting from your employer. Then you know the time has come. I'm going to say that again. Did somebody get what I just said, please? I need to know, because I know that it seemed like, did you get it? Have I overloaded you today? Okay. Your life is meant to be used in solving the problems and creating and building your tribe. That's what you are supposed to be using your lifetime for. So if you realize that your tribe, building your tribe is not what you do for a living, then I'm telling you how to build your tribe. You divide your day into two, your daytime and your nighttime. Your daytime is the time your employer pays for, and your nighttime is the time your employer does not pay for. You must not cheat your employer to build your tribe. Otherwise, your foundation of your tribe will be faulty. Never use your employer's time and resources to build your tribe. Never do it. That is stealing. Don't use your employer's Wi-Fi to be building your tribe. That is stealing. Except you have the permission and support of your employer in building your tribe. Don't use your employer's laptop. Find a way as quickly as possible to buy your own laptop to do your own thing. Your employer's resources must not be used in secret to build your tribe. Except you have the express permission and support of your employer in building your tribe. And let me quickly say something to you. If you were focused and you are able to articulate the problem that you solve, your employer will support you. If you have a good employer. But bottom line is, even if your employer does not support you, your night time is the time you use to develop and pursue the building of your tribe. So how do you do this? You come back from work, you quickly sort everybody out, including yourself and all of that, and you go to bed. Listen, if you are on a mission, you should be asleep by 10 o'clock. As much as possible. Now, this, no. I know that some of these things, some people say, Fela, you don't understand my work. Work what works for you. But what I'm saying is, if you're one of those people who can get home by 6 o'clock, go to bed soon after your kids go to bed. And then wake up at about 12 midnight or about 3 to 4 hours. Wake up. Between 12 and 2 o'clock, wake up and work for 1 hour or 2 hours every day of the week, and then go back to bed and then wake up to go to the office. If you are writing a book that will solve the problems of the world, wake up at the same time every day and dedicate an hour to 2 hours every day at the same time to writing that book. You'll be amazed how quickly you finish. And then dedicate your weekends to building your tribe. You'll be amazed. So I want you to make sure that this year is a successful year for you. But you have to know what success looks like. You have to be clear what success looks like. Because the picture of success is the magnet that draws you to do the work that will deliver that success. Success must be enriching, but success must also be fulfilling for you. And fulfillment does not come from money. Fulfillment only comes from fulfilling purpose. So whilst it enriches you, it must also fulfill you. Please write this down. True success is enriching and fulfilling. Please write it down for me. True success is enriching and fulfilling. If it enriches you but does not fulfill you, you are probably not fulfilling purpose. So how then do you get the value that you are meant to be able to create or to charge for the value that you create? How do you know and how do you attain the kind of value that you charge for the value that you have created? How do you know the worth of what it is that you charge? Let me say to you that generally, this is how corporate organizations measure value. They measure value by the impact that your solutions create. And there are only 5 places where organizations measure that impact. 5 ways. Number 1, what is the impact that your solution creates on their earnings, their revenue, their sales? Number 2, what is the impact that your solution creates on their profits? Number 3, what is the impact that your solution creates on their market share? Number 4, what is the impact that your solution creates on their brand value? And ultimately, number 5, what is the impact that your solution creates on their shareholders' value? In other words, the return to their shareholders. I'm going to be touching on this in a little while, but I want you to please understand that if you are delivering value to a tribe that is not capable of paying, then you have to find an organization or a people who are capable of paying, but who have vested interest in your tribe. So if your tribe is teenagers, you have to have a way of finding out what is the value that I am creating for these teenagers. What is it worth to their parents? What is it worth to their parents? Because maybe it's their parents that will be the ones. It may not be their parents. It may be an organization. I just showed you. This is the value that GT Bank gets. Advertising is the value GT Bank gets from buying this book. The value the reader gets is academic excellence. The value GT Bank gets, it's advertising. The person that bought that, the students may not be able to pay for the book, so I have to find GT Bank that can pay for the book and speak their language. But I have to help them understand how this can help them achieve their revenue. So we are advertising their values, but that's not all. We are advertising the SKS Teens account. Can you see it? This is a product that GT Bank has. This is GT Bank's values. And I'm sure some of you remember, especially a few years ago, GT Bank had all these orange rules all over the country, telling what their values were. So this was what was important to GT Bank at that time. At the time when we did this. So this was valuable to GT Bank. What I'm asking you is, who is paying? And if you can't get them to pay, can you get an organization to pay? But if you're going to speak to an organization, this is the value, this is the language that they understand. Let's go. Please understand that to human beings, members of your tribe, what they call value is what I just put out this thing as their DNA. And DNA means their desires, their needs, and their aspirations. And you can almost call it NDA, because needs are the primary thing that your tribe must have in common. In other words, your tribe must need the solution that you are offering. So when you are trying to build your tribe, ask yourself, what are their needs? What are their pain points? What is keeping them awake at night? What is the most important thing that they're trying to solve? Their needs are the critical value that attracts them to the tribe so that you can solve it and then help them achieve their desire. So remember, their needs are the problem. Their desire is their outcome. So you have to be able to speak the language. What do they need? What do they want? Their needs is what you solve. Their desire is the outcome of what they're looking for. So let me just do it because I can see Super K here, right? So you say, what is the problem that career professionals have? For some people, it depends. There are many different kinds of problems. For some people can say, oh, choosing the right career. They don't know how to choose the right career. Okay, cool. So that is the need. They want the right career, or they need to make the choices so that they can get the right career. So how do I help them with getting enough information around what the right career is for them? But until I get them the right career, there's no real value yet. So I am not just going to stop at informing them about how to make the choices. I'm actually going to then create the tribe that enables them connect with the right career. That way I have met their needs, which is now clarity around the right career, and their desire, which is getting the right career. Do you get it? And then their aspiration is growing in the right career. So when I've helped them get the right career, if I don't help them grow in it, they will fall off the tribe. They don't need me anymore. So to keep that tribe, I've got to solve their need, clarity, meet their desire, connection with the right career, and then their aspiration, which is growing it. So my tribe must be able to help to do these things for the tribe to thrive. Did you get that? Super cool. I just used that as an example. I hope somebody got what I'm teaching here. It's not theory, but I know it is light. Once you get the light, once the light comes on, you'll be able to interpret your own situation in it. And once you get it, it's like, oh my God, bam, your goal will come. So what is the need of your tribe? The need is the problem. What is the desire? The desire is the outcome. What is the aspiration? The aspiration is what happens thereafter. So your needs are immediate, your desires are soon, your aspirations are later. So needs are now, desires are soon, aspiration is later. What do I need to do for them now so that they can soon have something and then get what they want later? I know you guys are writing, but I'm missing comments in the comment section. You guys need to help me know that I'm connecting. I need to know how you're feeling. I need to know that you're getting this, because I know we're dealing in deep waters now. Soaking it in. Yeah. What's keeping them awake at night? What's their problem? That's the need. What is the outcome? That's their desire. What is the aspiration? What they want from there. Anthony says, I'm doing my best to take it all in. I got you. Okay. Now, let me be clear. Remember that I said, when out of this kind of things, many times it's the ABCD. You become aware, you believe, you're convinced, and then you take decisions, that can help you. One of the greatest decisions you can take about Speak for Gold is to make sure that you go and listen to it. It's not a class you hear once, because it comes by hearing. The light will break forth. The light will break forth. And I'll try and see if we can ask a few questions today. All right. So I hope that we have now a clear understanding of the concept of value. Is there anybody in insomnia for 2 days to come? Has anybody got that thing? Did you hear it? Do you all have a clear concept of value? You've got to be able to ask yourself, what problems do my people have? What outcomes are they looking for? And what will they like to happen later? And then design your interventions to touch on these things. So whilst DNA is easy to remember, it's really NDA that is the flow. What do they need now? What do they want? What do they want soon? And what can I give to them later? How can I help them accomplish where they're going to later? Okay. All right. I love it. Tell me give me one word to describe tonight's experience so far. Just tonight's experience so far. And let me see whether we can cover one more thing, and then tomorrow we'll wrap it all up. Revelational clarity, enlightening, explosion, awesome, deep clarity, mind-blowing, revealing, mind-shifting, illuminating, awakening, illumination, bombardment. You see, I've taught you people bad English now. You see, they say, be careful who you hang out with. Now, you need, when you impact people, they will just allow you to, to influence them. When you now go to somewhere and say, guys, I want you to be illuminated. They say, huh? All right, guys, I'm happy. I'm happy. Let's see whether we can touch very quickly. Value is measured by the impact that you make. You guys got that. It's very important. Value is the difference that your existence makes. There must always be a before and after every time people come across you. Every time they come across what you do. There must be a distinction between, you must always be the gateway of the future. Before they met you was their past. After they met you is their future. You must be the gateway. You write it down, somebody write it down. You must be the gateway to the future. Everything that their life was before you came into their life must be their past. There must be a significant impact. There must be a before and an after. Otherwise, if people cannot tell the difference that your life makes, you have added no value. If you add no value, there is no reward. If there is no reward, there can never be a tribe. So when you hear people saying, I came for Speak for Gold in November and my life changed, and the people started to say with me, there's something different about you. That is why they're coming back. If there is no before, let me put it this way. If there is no before and after, there is no value, there is no impact. That's it. All right? And your capacity to create that is going to be born out of the talents and the gifts that God has given you, your passion and your personality. But that I want you to understand. The greater the impact, the greater the value. The greater the value, the greater the benefit. The greater the benefit, the greater the reward. Did you get it? The greater the distinction between their past and their, the before and after, the greater the value. The greater the value, the greater the benefit, the greater the benefit, the greater the reward. So you speak for gold, not because you want to speak for gold. You speak for gold because you have brought a transformational impact in the lives of the people. And then the people will reward you with it. But then remember that your tribe are people of a kind. They must value certain things. They must have shared values. And more importantly, please remember that if you don't know and articulate the values that you have, they will not know what values to share with you, right? So it's not enough for you to have values. You must A, B, C, D of your values. Number one, I'm going to say that again. It's not enough for you to have values. If you're going to build your tribe, you must A, B, C, D. You must become an advocate and an ambassador for your values. Oh, I love it, Funke. Olufunke, I love it, I love it. Before, me, after, top. I love it. Oh, can anybody see that? I love what Olufunke put out there. Before, me, after, or top. That is the thinking. That is the thinking. Oh, I love it. I love it. See, Olufunke, please, can I borrow that your diagram? I have to put it in my next slide. Before must lead to me must lead to after must lead to the top. Bam. You get that, this equation that Olufunke has put out there in diagram. That's it. You're building a tribe for life. Give me a thumbs up if you feel me. If you guys are feeling this right, just give me a thumbs up. Just give me a thumbs up. Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Blessing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Omumi. Thank you. Thank you, Njide. Thank you, Yvette. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm just going to run very quickly through this because I want to spend a few minutes touching on, just even if it's 3 questions or so. I want us to be able to see whether we can answer tonight. But I just want to talk about values for a moment, because every time we talk about values, and we need to understand, what are values? Values, in my opinion, are the beliefs that shape human perspective, the way you see things, the way you process them, and the way that you create outcomes. So I'm going to say that again. Your values are a belief system that helps you to see things and process things for outcomes, like for decisions. So your values are the things that are important to you. And because they are important to you, they cause you to see things in a particular way. And they cause you to interpret things in a particular way and cause you to take decisions about things in a particular way. Okay? So a few years ago, I was invited by and it was the presidency, but I'm going to say years now so that you can't tell which of the President, it is just so that you don't know. I don't need to do that for you. But I was invited. I got a call sometime in December, on the 2nd or 3rd of December. And the gentleman said to me, Fela, he introduced himself from the presidency. He says, I just wanted to tell you that we're trying to do a program. And the program is something that the president wants to make sure that gets done. In fact, he wants to make sure we start the work this year. And the senior advisor to the president has been tasked with making sure that we drive ethical leadership into across the message of ethical leadership across the 774 local governments, but we want to do it in 8 weeks. 8 weeks. Therefore, we need to have somebody who, and we were looking for 3 things. We're looking for somebody who has expertise in that area, ethical leadership. Number 2, we're looking for somebody who has capacity to be able to build a team that will deliver this training across 74 local governments in 8 weeks. What that means is that we need to have 50 teams of facilitators who will train Monday, Tuesday in one local government, and then travel and then do Wednesday, Thursday in another local government next to it, and then they will go home and then come back again Monday, Tuesday in another local government. So if we have 50 teams on Monday and Tuesday, we'll have 50 local governments done. And then on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we'll have another 50 local governments done. And so they wanted to be able to do 100 local governments, and therefore they needed somebody who can build a team of 50 facilitators. So it's not enough that that person must be known as an expert. That person must also have capacity to build. Then the person must have a reputation that if they told Nigerians, this is the person handling ethical leadership for the government, that the people will say, yes, that's the right person. So they told me those are the 3 things that they were looking for, which sounded great. And then he announced to me that, listen, Fela, just to let you know, you have been selected, pre-selected, based on these 3 things. There were other people that were considered, but some of them either were not, they may be experts, but they are not known, or they're experts and they're known, but people, they don't believe they have the capacity to raise a team, or, so he said, but you met all 3 criteria. And I want to tell you that your work has been speaking for you. God bless you for building people, And he said, so I want you to go and do the thing for us. So I said, okay. I called my teams together over a period of, about 6 days. We did everything that we did, pulled the programs together, tight program, amazing program. Built teams of people, all the guys that are my mentees and all of those guys, we got people together. I did the costing. And at that time, without any profit, not 1 kobo added to anything, it came to 1.3 billion naira. And I told my team that I wanted them to put that cost in. I didn't want any profit on it. I don't have to explain that to you. I will do so at another time, but it's to say that was what I told them. Let's just do the program. And so we sent the thing in at 1.3 billion. On the 14th of December, they called me back to say, Fela, I just wanted you to know, like I told you, you are the only one that was going to do this. And the guy said, but the one thing that we've noted is that we noticed that you didn't put anything in for yourself. And when we looked at the costs, they were exact costs. I said, yes. He said, we knew. He said, that's why we have decided that we will give you an extra 700 million naira for this project because we know. So I said, thank you. He said, so we are saying to you, now that obviously should have been gold, right? Because that's not transaction. He said, the only thing is that we just want you to write us an invoice as quickly as possible for 5 billion. And then you will take 2 billion. So I said, I don't understand. He said, well, no, I'm saying to you that because of all the work that you are doing, we need you to put in an invoice for 5 billion, but we'll give you 2 billion. So I started to laugh. He said, well, I'm sorry, but I don't understand what is funny. I said, I don't get it. You want us to do a program on ethical leadership, and you want us to inflate the contract. He said, no, don't call it inflation. It is really to take care of different kinds of things. You know, we have to sort out Ministry of, accountant this and you know, I say, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't. He said, no, Fela, look, you have to understand. God has chosen this time and the moment to bless you. I said, the blessing of the Lord maketh rich and addeth no sorrow. He said, there's no sorrow in this, Fela. There's no sorrow. God has honored you. You have been walking over Nigeria for a long time. I said, no. I said, I can't do it. This man started to put pressure. At one point in time, I had to switch off my phones. Well, I did not know that whilst they had already thought that somehow or the other the transaction will go through, I didn't know that they had moved 420 million naira. That they had not even started the transaction at all. They had moved 420. Well, the news came out in February of the next year when EFCC arrested 5 people on that team. They put it in the newspapers, but I bet you that you didn't see it. And I bet you that you didn't know any of the names of those people. But if they had put Fela Durotoye on that newspaper, I bet you that you would have remembered. And I also bet you that you would not have been at Speak for Gold. And lastly, apart from the fact that EFCC collected their money back, I bet you that even if I collected that 700 million, I would have finished spending it. So what is your values? Your values are the borders of impossibility. In other words, your values are that edge where you say to yourself, I will not cross this. From the point of view of crossing it, it defines this is impossible to me. I can't do it. I can't. Your values are so precious and priceless that the day that a no can become a yes for you is the day that a price has been found for your values. The day a wrong can become all right. What you had said I can never do now becomes actually, maybe you can think about it. When they say to you that everybody has a price, it means there is a point in time when they will give up on their values and they'll step beyond the place where they had defined as impossible. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything. Your values, write this down, please. Your values define what you stand for. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love that. Your values define what you stand for. And it's important that you must let your tribe know what you stand for. Because the violation of your values should lead to literally an ejection from the tribe. Your tribe, people in your tribe must know if you violate our values, we will send you out of the tribe. It doesn't matter what your subscription is. Even if you are paying your subscription, we will say, we don't want your subscription because you are not our type of person. Once the people can be clear, the behavior that comes from the values of the people on your tribe, you're made. Does that make sense? Does somebody feel me? So let me just give you your values. Everybody has this thing that I call your personal value code. PVC is not permanent voters card, it's personal value code. Okay? And what happens is you must have a tribal value code that supersedes the personal value code of each of the persons or members of the tribe. In other words, their personal value code must be able to find expression in the tribal value code. So people have come from different backgrounds. They've come from different, field. They've come from different classes. They've come from different homes. They've gone through different experiences in life. So their values have been formed and shaped. But the tribe must have a value system that supersedes all the personal value codes of each person. That when you are in this tribe, this is how we behave. This is the acceptable way that we behave. Some people call values intuition, which is that inner decision-making software that every human being has, that says, this is what is right, this is what is wrong, this is what is good, this is what is bad, this is what is acceptable, this is what is unacceptable. And it's around all the things that define who you are and how you relate with others. For me, there will always be many options in life, but the choices you make will always come from your values. And as a leader, you must be, and I said this, you must ABCD your values. Number one, you must be an advocate for your values, meaning you must push your values, but you must also be an ambassador for them, meaning you must represent your values. You cannot say that you cannot advocate a particular value and then not represent it. And that itself is lack of integrity. But you must be a believer of your values and a behavior of your values. C, you must be a crusader for your values and a custodian of your values. And D, you must be a defender of your values. Every time your values are under attack, you must stand for them. You must stand for them. There are 5 values that drive the Gemstone tribe. These values have been articulated in 10 behavioral statements. But the 5 values that drive us include, number 1, exemplary. Everything we have to do, we must do it in such a way that it is worthy of emulation. 2, expertise. We must be the best at what we do. We must be the best in it. We must seek to be the best in what we do at all times. We must try to be number 1 in our area, on our field of, this is our field. If it is expertise, if we're going to be a speaker, you have to do the best you can to be one of the best speakers ever. If you're going to be a leadership coach, you have to do number 1 to be. So whatever it is, I want you to be an expert. If you're going to come into the Gemstone Nation Builders Gemstone Leadership Network, we want you to be able to speak to an area of expertise. We don't just want you to be a generalist, a jack of all trade. But 3, you have to have the capacity to translate intention into results. That's called execution. Execution is the ability to translate intention into results. Execution is the ability to translate intention into results. You must have the capacity to do so. Number 4, excellence, the highest quality of standard of every outcome. And I always like to say, excellence is not only in what is obvious, it's also what you discover when you look deeper. You know, everything, look at the slides, look at the positioning. Look at the gap. Everything. Look at the dots where they look at every attention. Excellence is always in the detail. An excellent painter will take a mirror off the wall and paint the wall and reinstall the mirror. A mediocre painter will paint around the mirror and say, well, it's a bit screwed to the wall. Nobody will see what's behind it. Whenever you want to know excellence, look at the seam of the things that you're doing. See the attention to the seam. When you look at an excellent suit or a jacket, you open it and look in the inner lining. Excellence is not what is obvious to everybody. It has to be, but it is in the details. When you now look, what do you find? For us, excitement. And it is such that if you pick up the phone, if you come into anything that Gemstone is doing, you come into a Speak for Gold, you will see it is part of our values. It is in a pocket. It is all part of our values, guys. It's not happening by chance. Listen to me. The impression of your values forms your standard. The expression of your values forms the experience that people will have. When you express your values, that determines the experience that people have. When you have the setting of your values inside form the standard that you must live up to. But the experience that people will have is tied to the expression of your values. So ideally, people should be able to tell what your values are, even if you don't tell them your values. Woo! People should be able to tell what your values are, even if you don't tell them, just by observing you, observing what you do, observing how you do it, observing the things that they should tell. Having said that, there are still the ways in which you are going to translate your core values into a behavioral standard. And those are the things that we have identified in Gemstone as the 10 essentially value behavior. We call it our creed. 10 things. Every day you translate those exemplary expertise, execution, excellence, and excitement into these 5. These are the things you check on a daily basis. 1, make a positive impact on everyone you meet and everywhere you go. Because this is how you test. Did I make a positive impact? Did I not? Did the things I just said now, did it make the person better? Did it not? Number 2, be a solution provider and not a part of the problem to be solved. So let me put it this way. If you are coming into the Gemstone Leadership Network, you must accept those 5 values and you must accept to this personal creed. Why? Because now it sets an expectation for how people will behave within the tribe. Number 3, be a role model worthy of emulation. You see, exemplary, finding expression here. We're almost done, Simi. Number 4, be your best in all you do, particularly what you're naturally good at. Do you see expertise, finding expression in this conversation now? Can everybody see it? We're now translating one word into a statement that people can check. Have I given my best? Have I been my best? Is this thing I'm doing, is this something I'm naturally good at? If it's not what I'm naturally good at, remember I said to you, you are naturally equipped to be good at something that you are passionate about. If you're not passionate about the problem, the chances are you're not probably good at solving it. Number 5, okay? Do the right thing at all times, regardless of who's doing the wrong thing. Because that's how to be exemplary. Execution. Excellence. Those words are forming together to form a behavior. When people say, FD, how have you become like this? These are the things that helped me to be. They've guided me in the way I relate with my wife, in the way I relate with my staff, in the way I relate with people, in the way I, value time and make the best use of it. That's why we never start late. Care and show respect to all through their words and their actions. Consciously build a great legacy starting now, today, and every day. Live a life of integrity and honor. Make your family, our nation, and your God proud. Become somebody's claim to fame. Not a reason for shame. And ladies and gentlemen, those values are the things that really shape your decisions. And your decisions soon, therefore, influence your actions. Your actions over time become a habit, and your habits will become a culture, a lifestyle, and a lifestyle begins to influence others, and it becomes a culture. And what then happens is that your culture will now become the result, because it's whatever you do consistently that determines your outcome. Your outcome will become a reputation that this is what people are experiencing about you, and they're constantly experiencing. They begin to call you by that, and it becomes a brand. And I'm not sure whether you see what I'm showing you here, but the brand is the value that people will pay to be associated with you. And whether you can see this, it all is connected to your values. So when your values are clear, it will determine the value that your tribe will be willing to pay to be associated with you. You need to make sure that your values are the values that improve the value of your tribe. Okay. Chisa, I hope that Simi can see. Okay. Simi, you need to get in touch with Chisa. Yeah. I think we talked about that before. Chisa is saying we can animate this in all Nigerian languages. Yeah. So I want to see how. Let's Simi, please connect to Chisa on that. All right.
Yes, I already sent a message.
So guys, this is where I'm going to be taking a break tonight. Tomorrow when you come, I'm going to talk to you guys a bit more about things that have to do with pricing and profit in terms of building a very profitable tribe. I hope tonight has been useful to everybody. Now, let me just ask you a question, if you guys don't mind, before I bring Simi on. If we were able to get, let me put it this way, if anyone subscribed to these 10 values, can you tell me what is likely to happen in their home? Do you think that their home will become sweeter, or what do you think is going to happen in their home? Bolahan says Nigeria will be pleasures forevermore. Fabulous. Okay, complete transformation. What will happen to their business and their career? Do you think they're going to be the promotion will come quickly? What do you think is going to happen? They will thrive. Total transformation. They will grow, growth, blossom. Okay. What about children? If children adopted these values, what do you think will happen to them in school? Can anybody give me? They would excel, Emilia says. All right. Kemi says they would excel. They would excel. Do you understand? Now, just this last one, guys. This last one. What do you think will happen to a tribe of people who share these values? What do you think is going to happen to them? They will be influencers. They will be powerful. They will be great leaders. They will be unstoppable. They will be a nation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure tomorrow you'll get to hear a bit more about the Gemstone Leadership Network. But these are the values. Now, all I'm saying to you in closing is and you can take these values, or don't forget, you can adopt them as your values. So I'm not saying, but the most important thing is the same way you feel so powerfully about the values of this is the same way you need to have a set of values that you're projecting, and the people in the tribe feel so powerful about it. All right? And I hope tonight has been great for you.